Have you ever felt like a part of you wants to go full speed ahead to create, explore, do all the things, but something else inside slams on the brakes? I want to share a story from one of my sessions that captures this exact tug of war between excitement and protection, between freedom and fear. And it all started with a ball. Let me introduce you to John. John is in his 30s, recovering from chronic fatigue syndrome. He has made huge progress, and lately, he's been testing the waters, doing more, saying yes to life again. But with that came resistance and fear, a growing tension around fun. So we turned to one of my favorite tools for resolving inner conflict, parts work. John was already familiar, so we dove right in. I began by guiding John into a more grounded state. Then I asked him to bring his attention to the part of him that always wants to do new things. And the first image that came, a blue slimy ball. Inside the ball were tiny particles, full of energy, bouncing wildly in every direction, ricocheting off the walls like they were trying to escape. I asked him to describe the feeling of that energy, and he said, "It feels like good energy, like excitement." When I asked if he felt open to this part, he said yes. So I invited him to approach it, to let this part know that he was open and curious. And suddenly, the energy transformed. It wasn't just energy anymore, it became a little boy, 5 or 6 years old, laughing, running, full of joy and wonder. He wanted John to come play with him. And you know what? John wanted to. He said, "I want to play with him." And so he did. He spent a few moments simply enjoying that connection, that childlike joy and innocence. He played, he felt the lightness. When he was ready, we returned to the image of the ball. I told John to pay attention to this image and notice what comes up. John said, "The ball feels limiting. It has boundaries. It's rigid and strict. It wants to play it safe." John was seeing a different part revealing itself more clearly. The protector part, the one that had wrapped itself around the joy, trying to keep it contained. I asked John how he felt towards this part, and to his credit, he stayed curious. He said, "I feel open. I want to understand it." As John said this, the ball turned from a cold blue to a warm yellow. I invited John to speak to this part, to ask questions with openness. So John asked this part, "What makes you so strict and protective? What are you afraid will happen if you let loose?" And the answer was immediate. "I'm protecting you from crashes." John explained to me, "As I'm beginning to do more and have fun, I don't want to stop. I have been sick for so long. I now don't want anything to slow me down. But this is how I lived my life before I got sick. I'd never take breaks or rest. I always wanted to do more and more." John understood that this protector part had to step in. It became strict. It created limits because it did not trust that John would stop on his own. I asked John to thank this part, not for limiting him, but for trying to protect him. And something beautiful happened. He said, "The ball is turning red now, but not in a scary, intense way. It feels friendly." Since the protector part seemed to warm up to John, this was the perfect time to attempt a negotiation. I asked John to check in with the part. "What do you need me to do differently?" And the part replied, "Take breaks. If you have 2 or 3 busy days, take a lighter day after that." John found this suggestion to be reasonable. He agreed to rest after busy days and asked the part to give him the freedom on days he chooses to be active. The protector part agreed to this deal. Two parts, one that carries excitement and joy, the playful little boy, and one that holds fear and caution, the ball wrapping itself around the boy. If John had tried to get rid of either, he would suffer. But instead, John learned to listen, negotiate, and build trust with his parts. John and his protector part kept their promise to each other. As trust grew, so did freedom. John was able to enjoy life again, go on walks, spend time with friends, even explore creative hobbies without the fearful protective part stepping in to stop him. And that's the thing, parts are always protective, whether they show up as a thought, emotion, or symptom. When you learn to stop fighting your parts and start listening to them with openness and curiosity, everything changes. When parts feel heard, when they trust you to step up, they no longer need to protect you. They start collaborating and the symptoms fade away. This is why I say remission is possible.